Hello, welcome to Valve channel, I'm Stephen. When we use APR6D to design this kind of ball valve, the most important part is we are going to design the ball seat, the valve seat. Because different valve seat will make the valve have different function. So in APR6D, basically we have two kinds of valve seat. One is called a SPE and another called a DPE. And also use two kinds of valve seat. We can make the valve have two kinds of function. One kind of function called a DBB and another is called a DIB. So in this video we are going to talk about what is different between two kinds of valve seat and what is different between two kinds of valve function. First, let's talk about some very basic information about ball valve. Whatever what kind of ball valve you are going to design, ball valve all have a ball. And in the center of the ball, it all have a hole for the medium flow inside. And beside the ball, it all have two valve seat. The valve seat are located in the valve body. And beside the valve body, we have flange going to connect with the pipe. So this side is the poppling side. So the poppling will have pressure to push the ball. And when we close and open the ball, the fluid will flow inside the cavity. Because this kind of ball valve will work in the APR6D industry. In this kind of industry, a lot of flow media are very sensitive. So the cavity inside the medium will have pressure inside because the outside temperature will going to change. The pressure inside the cavity also going to change. So the pressure inside the cavity, pressure B, even can higher than the pressure A. So one valve seat will get two kind of pressure to force the valve seat. So we have two kind of function about the valve seat. One kind of valve seat we call that is a unidirection valve seat. Unidirection valve seat means when the pressure A bigger than the pressure B, the seat will seal the fluid outside the ball, outside the cavity. But when pressure B bigger than the pressure A, the valve seat will get a leak. So that means when pressure A bigger than the pressure B, the seat will totally touch the ball to seal the pressure outside the ball. But the pressure inside the cavity are higher than the pressure B. The pressure B will push the seat back and left a gap, so the pressure will relieve to the pipeline. So this kind of valve seat, we call this a unidirection. And also this kind of valve seat is the seat called a SPE. That is the first kind of seat we are going to talk about. And also we have another kind of valve seat which is called a bidirection. Bidirection means when pressure A bigger than the pressure B, the seat will seal the pressure outside the cavity. And also if the pressure B bigger than the pressure A, the seat still going to seal. So whatever pressure A and pressure B, which one bigger than another, the valve seat still going to touch the ball, still hold the ball against the ball to seal the pressure in each side. So this kind of valve seat we call DPE. So that is the basic two kind of valve seat in ball valve industry. So next let's find out why we call this kind of valve seat is SPE and this one called a DPE. These two illustrations going to explain for us what is SPE and what is DPE. SPE from the name, single pistol effector, and also we call this kind of valve seat is unidirectional valve seat. That means this valve seat just can seal one side pressure, single side. If another side have pressure, for example the cavity have pressure, the cavity pressure will push the valve seat back. It's going to relieving. So that is the reason we call this kind of valve seat is single pistol effector, SPE. For example, this valve. If this valve, both side valve seat are all made by SPE valve seats, what will happen for this valve working in the pipeline? According to the description, pressure force the upstream seal ring against the bore for the tie seal. So that means the upstream pressure will push the valve seat against the bore to seal the pressure. But if the cavity have pressure, and also the cavity pressure going higher, what will happen? According to the description, cavity pressure pushes the downstream seal ring away from the bore, relieving. So that means the cavity pressure will push the downstream seal ring away, make a gap between seat and bore to relieving. The reason why cavity pressure will choose to push the downstream seal ring first, because the downstream pressure are lower than the upstream. So that is very easy to understand by this illustration about SPE valve seat. And the second is the DPE valve seat. DPE from the name double pistol effector, and also we call this kind of valve seat is a bidirectional valve seat. For example, this valve, both side valve seat are all made by DPE valve seat. So the results are very clear. Upstream pressure cannot flow to the cavity. Cavity pressure cannot flow to the upstream, and also cannot flow to the downstream. And also if downstream have pressure, the downstream pressure also be sealed by the downstream seat. So three direction pressure are all sealed by two valve seat. So that is DPE valve. And what will happen if two valve seat are all made by DPE? This kind of valve will have one kind of advantages than the first one, which is if one side valve seat are failed to work, another side still can hold the pressure inside the valve will not be leak. But this valve, if the first side valve seat are failed to work, the upstream pressure will flow to the cavity pressure will flow to the downside. So this valve will be leak. So that is advantages for this kind of valve. According to description, even the upstream seat fail, the downstream seat double pistol effector creating a second seal for the bore. So that is advantages for this kind of valve. But this kind of valve have one kind of disadvantages, which is if the cavity have pressure and also going higher, the cavity pressure have no way to relieving. That will be very dangerous for the valve body. So we need to fix a safety valve on the valve body for the cavity pressure to relieving. But this kind of design, we don't need to fix a safety valve on the valve body for the cavity pressure relieving. This is two kinds of design. One is for the SPE valve seat, another is called the DPE valve seat. But we didn't talk about if one valve use two kinds of valve seat, one is DPE and another is SPE. What will happen? So that is the reason we have two kinds of valve function in APR 60. One is called DBB, another is called DIB. So let's look at the standard API 60 about these two kinds of valve function. Here is a description from the API 60 talking about how to test different function about the valve. But we are not going to talk about how to test different function about the valve. We're just going to talk about different name about different valve function. First function name called DBB, another function name called DIB. What is different? DBB means double block and bleed, and DIB means double isolation and bleed. The only difference between two names is the two words, block and isolation. Block means the valve seat will block the pressure from one side. If another side have pressure, for example the cavity pressure will push the valve seat back. It will going to relieve from the gap between seat and the bore. So relief, that is means bleed. So this kind of valve we call a DBB. So that means if one valve, both sides, the valve seat are all made by unidirectional valve seat. So this kind of valve we call DBB valve. And another kind of valve which is called isolation. Isolation means the valve seat will isolate the pressure from each side. Whatever which pressure higher than another, the pressure still will be isolated by the valve seat. So this kind of valve seat we call a bidirectional valve seat, also called a DPE valve seat. So if one ball valve, both sides, the valve seat are all made by bidirectional valve seat, we call this kind of valve body is DIB valve. So both valve function we already talked about in this page. So the first illustration going to talk about both valve seat are made by SPE seat, and another one is both sides made by DPE valve seat. But we have one more we didn't talk about, which is DIB type 2, which means one seat made by unidirectional and another seat made by bidirectional. So what will happen in this kind of type of the valve? To answer that question, we still need to look at this illustration here. Before, we already talked about two kinds of design. One is both sides valve seat made by SPE, and another is both sides valve seat made by DPE. This valve, both sides made by SPE, the advantages is if the cavity have pressure inside, it can relieve. But the disadvantages is if the upstream valve seat fail to work, the valve will leak because the pressure can flow to a cavity and flow to a downstream. And the valve seat, both seats made by DPE, the valve tape, the advantages is if the first side, the upstream valve seat fail to work, the downstream valve seat still can hold the pressure inside. The valve will not leak. The disadvantages is if the cavity have pressure, the cavity have no way to relieve. So we want two kind of design combined together, get a new kind of tape, which is called a DIB tape 2. DIB tape 2. So that is DIB tape 2 coming from. So let's see what will happen. For example, if we design the valve, the upstream we use SPE valve seat. The downstream we use DPE valve seat. So if the cavity have pressure, the cavity will push the upstream valve seat back. It can relieve. That is advantages. And also this kind of design have another advantages, which is if the upstream valve seat fail to work, the downstream valve seat still can hold the pressure inside the valve. The valve will not leak. So that is kind of design, get two kind of advantages together. So that is the reason we have the DIB type 2, one seat unidirectional and one seat bidirectional. So that is the basic principle about two valve seat and two valve function, SPE, DPE, and two function, DBB, DIB. Thank you for watching. See you next video. Bye bye.